Do you know one thing I have come to notice is that when something negative happens in their lives, people tend to blame God or say to God, "Why did you allow this to happen to me?" But I think we grossly underestimated all the time God protects us from stuff, and we are completely unaware of it. Whether you know it or not, God is protecting you and watching over you. Believe me when I tell you, if God was not protecting or shielding you to some capacity, the devil would have destroyed you by now. We spend so much money on the latest home security and security cameras, and then we often underestimate the things of the Spirit. We completely forget that you can have the best security, but if the hand of the Lord isn't over your house, the devil will come to steal and kill and destroy. We forget that God has angels, armies of angels watching our house. Those who fear the Lord are protected in a way in which others aren't. Psalm 34 verse 7, "The angel of the Lord encamps all around those who fear him and delivers them." This is one of the most wonderful verses in the Bible. It shows you one of the greatest benefits of fearing the Lord. Fearing God has a lot of benefits which include wisdom. For we know the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. But here we see the angel of the Lord encamps all around those who fear him. He just sets up a tent. Whether we are here for 60 or 100 years, it is no difference to him. 100 years is nothing more than several minutes in his lifespan. The angel has been around for centuries, and he will still be here after the people who fear the Lord have died and gone to heaven. So, he doesn't set up a permanent building, but only a tent, and encamps around those that fear the Lord. Only in heaven will you find out the amount of times God protected you. Only in heaven will you find out the amount of times God's holy angels protected you. Only in heaven will you find out the amount of times God's holy angels shielded you from danger. The angel of the Lord encamps all around those who fear God. Those who fear God are being watched. Those who fear are being protected. When Elisha was surrounded by armies, the young man with him was afraid. He was probably wondering why Elisha was not concerned by this army that had come to destroy them. Elisha knew this man couldn't see what he was seeing in the spirit realm. Elisha could see in the spirit realm, and he was at peace, even when they got surrounded. Elisha prayed that God opens the eyes of this man so he could see what was happening in the spirit realm. 2 Kings 6 verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see." And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And, behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. This man saw what he couldn't see before, and he was at peace. I am not saying you have thousands of horses and chariots of fire around you and your home, but I do want you to think what is over my house. The young man with Elisha noticed that he was completely unaware of the thousands of angels around them. And I think so many Christians walk their whole life like this young man, completely unaware that there are angels watching over them. God clearly stated that he would be with us in every kind of situation. God never said he would leave us for once. We need to know that he will always be with us. God is interested in what happens in our life. God is interested in what happens in our house. You don't have to be afraid of anything. Psalm 91 verse 11, "For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways." The angels of God have specific assignments they carry out on earth. They protect the children of God. They also bring the answers to their prayers from God. They are always around the children of God because they were commanded by God to be there. This world might be filled with terror. This world might be filled with all kinds of evil. But you need to know that none of that evil shall come near your dwellings. When Daniel was thrown in the lion's den, Daniel did not stress because he knew that God he served. Daniel 6 verse 20 to 22. And And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angels, and hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. Forasmuch as before him innocence he was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. God sent his angels to shut the mouths of the lions. Look, it doesn't matter how Satan is ravaging your street, your city, your state, your country, or this world. He will never have access to your house, because God will give his angels charge over you, and they will keep your house. These angels shut the mouths of these lions. They closed up completely, so much so that these lions became friends of Daniel. They did not see Daniel as food. They were just looking at Daniel. Why? Because the angels of the Lord were right there with them. You may not be seeing the things happening in the spirit realm, but one thing I can assure you is that God will never stop sending his angels to keep you and guide you. You don't have to worry. You don't have to fret. God is with you. God will not only send his angels to stay in your house, but God himself will be present in your house. You are the temple of God. Your body is the temple of God. Now, look at all of these. Consider all of these we spoke of. Should you still be afraid of the terror that flies by night? Should you still be afraid of the pestilence that flies by noonday? You have the host of heaven in your house. You have the host of heaven in your life. What should that tell you? You should never be afraid. Deuteronomy 28 verse 7 says, The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. Your enemies will not flee if there isn't something that is fighting them, something stronger than them. You may not even notice something is going on in the spirit realm. God will never leave you. This is the message for you today. God will never leave you to be tossed around by the devil. If you will hearken diligently to his voice, then you will be protected. If you will listen to him and follow his ways, you will be protected. God will never forsake you. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he is it that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.